losses. No losses. All right. Well, didn't even let me do the intro. But welcome in. Welcome
Welcome,
in,
everybody.
everybody. We are live across all platforms today, so we're good to go. Hope you guys.
Is that Quant sitting at $92?
Yes, Quant is at
Hey,
92, up
84
about
to
8%.
92.
Yep.
It always makes this move from $84 to 92. Like, remember how it would make the move from 94 to 100 something? Now it's doing that from 84 to 90. So we're getting
Yep.
lower highs for Quant.
Excuse me. Oh yeah, it's definitely
Now, I do think this is a relief rally. I do think. Okay, so 2019 had 8 red months and 4 green months. So far, we've had 6 red months and 4 green months. If the next 2 months are red, we're literally mimicking 2019. Like so far, we're this year looks exactly like 2019 to me, especially for the Ether Bitcoin trading pair. Like this
mhm.
year is very similar to 2019 when it comes to the monthly return chart. So that indeed reminds me that we're still in the 4 year cycle. I don't care what anybody says, we're in the 4 year cycle because it just looks very similar. 2022 looked similar to 2018, except 2022 had FTX.
Yep, and that's pretty much the only difference. But let's go over the basics. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Sal. We got Cody here. We're simply investing. So we talk all things crypto, finance, business, real estate, stocks, crypto. Doesn't matter.
Your
Just whatever
brother,
it is investing.
your brother must be really up on his Chainlink position because I think 2 to 3 months ago you told me that your brother like splurged on Chainlink.
Yeah, well, he put in quite a bit of money. I'm not at
He's
liberty
up a
to
lot.
discuss his portfolio, but
He's
he
up a
put in
lot
quite.
right now.
Yeah, it's up like 30%. But let me get over the basics, Cody. Here, shout out to Thomas Morgan. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate you in here. Um, but to start off, the market is kind of flat on the 24 hours. It's up to 1.14 trillion. We got trading volume of $40 billion. We got Bitcoin dominance at 51.5%, ETH at 13.3%, Bitcoin
It's not at
BTC.
13%.
I'm sorry, 17.3%.
I was about to say, like, that's bearish if so.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies. 17.3%. We got Bitcoin teasing 30,000. It just keeps bouncing around there.
30,000 is the bull market support band, fun fact. If we cross 30,000, like if we go to 31 or $32,000, we're in the bull market support, like the beginning of it.
Exactly. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Thanks for the support there, buddy. One of our great moderators. And bear with me, our moderators are just coming on. It is Sunday. I know everybody's a little tired. So if I miss your comment on TikTok, I do apologize. Just repeat it to me. I'll try to shout out everybody. Shout out to Papa Joe. Good morning from Phoenix. Hey, I know it's nice over there. I'm actually thinking about expanding my real estate portfolio out to Phoenix, Arizona. Now that there are some nice drops and good foreclosure prices out there. Shout out to Nick Ponder. Do you buy or sell options? Not really. Not really. I short a few stocks every now and then, but not too much. Shout out to Alex, Louisiana, morning brother from the cold north of Minnesota. Hey, I enjoy those crispy mornings, but I stop it off at about -0. And shout out to Rashid. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. We really appreciate you guys joining in. Hopefully, you guys can like and subscribe because we're going to get this day started. As Cody was saying, we're in a relief rally, but the strangest thing is Solana pumped 31%, which is just crazy.
Everything but freaking Ethereum. And what's crazy to me is like, I know this is temporarily. I know a bull market would show us differently, but Ethereum has been really like lacking this entire bear market. I mean, it's been showing support and strength at higher lows, but that's all it's really been doing compared to Bitcoin. And I mean, honestly, this bear market's been showing us like the true way to navigate crypto. Like I'm sure if we could all go back in time to the beginning of this bear market, we'd probably, most of us would be stacking Bitcoin and then just now getting to alts. Like if I was buying Bitcoin this whole time and just now getting to my alt portfolio, I'd be probably outperforming my current portfolio. But I mean, regardless, if you're holding it, to me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, in the long term, in the next 2 years, I think any position that you have is going. Well, shout out to Apple to user 9455. I'm up 287%. Hex is dominating. Well, let's take a look at Hex. So I don't think it's operating that much, but it could just be
It's up 25%.
25%, kind of following with Chainlink there. But we look at the volume here. Where's the volume? Trading volume is 6.5 million.
Yeah,
So
if you can make a good ROI on Hex, go ahead. But I just don't like it or like talking about it.
yeah, it's too much of a risk for me. As you guys know, I don't know how I always say how you build wealth is not through it's not through just going getting quick grabs here and there. It's steady acquisition of hard assets. And really what is attributed to most of my wealth is taking my wealth from my businesses and then putting it into real estate and then taking those earnings from real estate and then I'm putting it into stocks and crypto. So that's basically how I'm doing it. Shout out to Fire Spitting Kitten. That's a good username. How Here's how you do it. You yield farm with stables and DCA into alts. Pulse is better. Shout out to user 9455. I feel that I'm a degen. Well, if you can trade degenerately and make it, and it's a power to you. Make sure you get into where you understand and how you can earn your wealth, but also remember to protect your assets and make sure you don't do too big of a risky play. But we do have the greed and fear index at 54. So I'm going to say this is a relief rally because I wouldn't really say we're starting a bull run until we start getting closer to like the 70s and high 70s, 80s on the greed and fear index because the euphoria is just not there. But it seems like we got a lot of hopium in the Solana space. I have no idea what happened there. Let me just click that one up there. Yeah, trading volume was 829
Hey
million.
Sal, did you see do your own DYOFR's comment? He said, "Happy Sunday," and this is Chinese economy buying Chinese central bank just to pump their liquidity on Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention to the chat organizer here. So apologize everyone on the other platforms. But yeah, shout out to DYOFR. This is Chinese economy buying. Yes. Well, one, their citizenry they need an out. They're under total control. They just need an out of this. And then on top of that, the government, their own currency is actually devaluing. I don't believe what a lot of these people are saying on on a lot of internet and YouTube videos. China has a serious problem with their economy, and every time I went over there when I worked, and this was like 15 years ago when I was working for hedge funds as a trader and everything, I could tell you right away it's a propped up economy. It's just propped up through the Chinese Nationalist Party, and it's eventually bubbles like that are going to burst, but they put themselves in such a bad position that their own people might overthrow that government, and there's too many people for them to really have their army kind of
Oh
fight it
yeah,
off.
China has like what 1.4 billion or more.
1.8 billion people.
Yeah, that's way you can't kill it. You can't. 1.8 billion people can throw out an army.
Yeah, and their army is about a million strong, but you can't fight that. I would just say their economy is probably going to collapse, and their collapse is going to cause the rest of the financial world to
What do
kind of
you
collapse.
think about North Korea right now currently?
Look, the people are literally eating dirt to survive. out in North Korea. It's like those countries are. It's only a matter of time before those countries kind of collapse in on themselves. Plus, as the United States, people don't know, but we just created, like everyone's talking about, the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier. It's an attack carrier designed to really level a nation by itself, and it's a phenomenal piece of a machinery. But what you guys don't know is we built 18 of those, and it's like, if we were to go back 80 years and tell the American armed forces that, hey, in 2020 we're going to have it's only going to take 4 boats to bring down a country, they would laugh at us. I'd say that's freaking impossible, but that's how crazy. I don't think you understand how technologically advanced the U.S. Army is. I know there's a lot of people in there, but compared to what people other countries have, they have nothing compared to the United States. Now, even China is still running. Some of their destroyers are still running on steam engines.
Well,
Just
The Vietnam War, they had us. You know, you remember when the hearing about the Vietnam War, how the Vietnamese soldiers, they'd like bury themselves underground, and they'd be like
Mhm.
the tunnel rats or whatever that they'd call themselves. Yeah, they
Yes.
had that on us. They had strategies on us, but that's about it. Like same thing with like other
Mhm.
countries nowadays. It's like the U.S. really is ahead, but at the same time, like the U.S. government, and not even just the U.S. government, like just what most people don't understand is the people who are running this show right now. It's like they think we're all
Mhm.
stupid and we can't throw the government, but we can eventually if it gets to that point to where we just have to fight for survival and we're desperate.
Yeah, well, guerrilla warfare will always win out, but nowadays, like, we don't have to do warfare, because what people don't know is the Gerald Ford can, and the attack boats with it, can launch an assault from several 100 miles away, intercept your ballistic missiles within a matter of an hour, which is phenomenal. And on top of that, we got more drones. Our drones are a little bit better than most. They're not running on traditional stuff. I mean, the U.S. Army, I think it's the U.S. Marines have a specific drone that runs off of solar power, so it can stay up there indefinitely until the battery gives out. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Until technology catches up and can map terrains. Believe it or not, they can already do that, and they send, like what they did in Pakistan. They could map out the terrain and all the tunnels in the mountain, and then send in a bunker bomb to the exact position. So it's crazy how ridiculous. Like, you don't even really have to put troops on the ground anymore
You know,
to win. So, but that's
you
that's
know, every time
but
I talk to my dad about like investments and stuff like that, and he's always all like, "Oh, I wouldn't be investing. Like we could get nuked, blah blah blah. Like we could go to war in the next 2 3 years, blah blah blah."
yeah, and believe it or not, for a lot of you younger people, when I was growing up, that was a big fear. Like, we had practice bomb, like, go to the bomb shelter. Every school, every library, every public place had a big bomb shelter that could house several hundred people, if not a few thousand. So it's that was a big scare back in the day, but now really a lot of nuclear weapons can be intercepted. They're vastly different than the what we are thinking of right now. Shout out to DYOFR. I didn't mean to stroke any war narrative. Just saw the Chinese people needing to get out of their own currency as soon as possible. And yeah, so let's just drop the war narrative. We're gonna go back to because
No, you didn't.
we're an
He
investment
didn't.
channel.
He didn't start any war narrative. It just kind of goes in with like our macro and stuff, and we were just adding on it. You didn't start a war narrative.
But to be fair, DYOFR is that war can affect your portfolio, and war can affect how investments are going to go. Now, believe it or not, war is the unfortunately, I hate to say, because it causes massive atrocities and all sorts of chaos. But economically speaking, war has always been the best thing for the United States. Every time we went to war, our economy just skyrocketed at like either right after or before. Even with the Vietnam War, it rose. It's just how the American infrastructure is built. But what a lot of people don't know is that we can turn our economic engine on a dime. Like we can just turn, and all of a sudden we go from producing consumer goods to producing tanks and weapons and artillery and all that stuff. Believe it or not, I still believe most people are patriotic. So as soon as that war engine switches over and everybody's like, "Yo, it's do or die," then the whole country just like kind of amasses together. We're like, that's what I always said. America's like a hornet's nest. We kind of fight with each other, sting each other, but then as soon as you whack the nest, we all come out and we attack together. So but that's just my thoughts. But I don't think I'm not. There's no World War III is going to happen. No, nothing's going to happen. Conflicts like this happen all the time. The only thing is different. You guys grew up in a time when these type of conflicts were far and in between. When I was growing up, we had the Bosnian conflict. We had all these Czechoslovakian countries, or from the Soviet Union broke up. We had total chaos from the Soviet Union collapse. Like there was a lot. There was just constant. It was like constant deployment. Like if you were going into the armed forces, it was guaranteed that you're going to do 8 years because you get deployed and then you'd be out in the field and you'd have to resign your 4 years because you're in the middle of chaos. So it's just one of those things. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Our economy skyrockets because of us taking on debt and then we win. But I'm basing that off the creature from Jekyll Island book. It's we do generate a lot of debt, but usually war makes us generate a lot of GDP, and then that causes, and usually we win. But there will be a time that we could lose. You know, there's always going to be that. So, but if this keeps escalating, yeah, it might be time to start taking a look at some defense contractor stocks like Lucent Technologies, Boeing. But when a real war hits, it's like Ford, General Motors will start producing stuff like tanks and things like that.
Yeah. Right
So
now, I'm just like I'm heavy on my DCAs. That like every 2 weeks, I've just been buying. Like shoot, I get paid in like 4 days, 5 days. I'm gonna throw a nice chunk into my portfolio.
yeah, and I just been dollar cost averaging into my stock portfolio. So like today I just bought a huge chunk of Bank of America stock because Bank of America is increasing their dividends up to 24 cents. So it behooves me to just kind of keep increasing that
If
little stack
if
there.
we can see Ethereum go down to sub 1K or 1200 or even 1300, like I would be very happy for that. I'd be buying up a lot. Like my goal within the next year is to have over 10 ETH.
I think it's going to be possible to, but I'm going to say this. I want to see ETH at 1200 before I really put in a lot. But I have a lot of money on the sideline, just waiting for like all of crypto to drop, and then I get in. Shout out to CEO. You in XRP or XLM? Well, I'm not in XLM. I'm watching it, but I am very long on XRP, and I'm holding quite a bit. I'd say it's about 20% of my portfolio, maybe 18, somewhere around there, because I'm adding to other areas right now. But I haven't been buying XRP lately either. But I also feel that XRP is going to be here for the long run, more so than the others. But the others will eventually catch up, but they're just kind of like market alternatives. But I think XRP has the biggest backing. Ripple makes a crap ton of profit, and XRP is already kind of in a position to make itself the payment
And there's
currency
no
of the internet.
SEC. There's no SEC looking over,
Yes.
XRP's shoulders and stuff. Like
Yeah, it's free and
XRP is
clear.
free from that.
Yep, it's free and clear. And what's going to happen is that now that it's free and clear, it could set the precedent for other tokens and other cryptocurrencies, so they can use that case to back other currencies, and hopefully it'll start worldwide demand will start to increase. But I have a feeling Africa is going to be the next big boom area
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna be
first
accumulating.
world economies.
I'm gonna be accumulating a lot of XRP after I get done buying ETH for the next year. I'm solely the only crypto I'm buying for the next 12 months is ETH because I have my other bag set up. You know, I have a bunch of Quant, I have a bunch of Polkadot. My Polkadot bag right now in 2021 prices would be worth 50 grand. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, if we were in 2021 prices right now, I'd have almost a $200,000 portfolio. Like, it's almost 200,000.
Yeah, and but I want to say this though. Oh, and shout out to Faye Block Knight. I hope I got that name right. But thanks for the follow. Really glad to have you in here. And shout out to DYOFR. There's at least 30 alts that are outperforming BTC this year, with BTC around 54% gains. I'm getting more into those in the 100 and 300% gains this year. It's just going to keep running. Well, the thing is, like BTC, if you're investing in Bitcoin, it is it's more for like the next 10 years. Like I'm like my Bitcoin, I don't really foresee I'm selling unless if it hits those magical numbers that everyone's talking about. I don't see it in the next couple years, but I do see Bitcoin being worth a lot 10 years from now.
Speaking of Bitcoin, I actually entered in the Coinbase giveaway. And if I win a Bitcoin, I'll give a random person on the stream $100 that day. Like I will. But I have a good amount of entries on Coinbase. They're giving away, I think, a grand prize of 2 Bitcoin. But there's
Mhm.
also a giveaway for 1 Bitcoin. And then there's a 25,000 USD giveaway. USDC giveaway, and I entered in on all of those. So if I win it, man, I'd take out like $5,000, pay for my lifestyle, what I need right now, and then I'd keep the rest, and I'd just hold it for the next 10 years. I
Yeah,
wouldn't sell my Bitcoin next war, and I'd sell
and
everything
that's
else.
that's ideally what you should do. Also, on Uphold, they're also having an event to win 10,000 XRP. So
That's a good one too.
that's another good one there. And there's a couple airdrops coming if you are keeping stuff on Uphold. That should be coming. Shout out to Faye Block Night again. What's up, Brody? What's up to you, brother? Really appreciate you on the live. Hope you guys have a lot of great questions for us because there's not really too much news for a lot of the areas other than that we're kind of in a relief rally. Everything's going to start feeling like it's going to go up. Although all the meme coins didn't really get to, like Dogecoin, Shiba didn't really get catch that rise. Not even
I'm just
Cardano.
tired of seeing
No, go ahead, Cody.
I'm tired of seeing all these Bitcoin ETF news. Like, I just wish this Bitcoin ETF would get approved so we can stop seeing news about it. I'm just so
Yeah.
tired of seeing crap about it. I don't know why, but it's like everything. Every time I see something Bitcoin ETF related, I'm just like, ugh, like get it over with already.
Yeah, I agree too. It's like, okay, we're kind of done. We know the ETFs are coming. We know eventually they're going to get approved. But it's just that's the only thing to really talk about. Like, there's not a lot of news really going on to talk about as far as finance. It's just everyone's down, everyone's losing money. That's why you don't see a lot of the finance YouTubers talking about, oh, I made this, I made this. I mean, because it's just flat across. It's just flat
Sal,
across the board.
a lot of people, I live in Bentonville, Arkansas. That's where I live, and the average income in my city is about $80,000 per year. But what's crazy is it's like a lot of those people are high up with Walmart because Walmart dominates Bentonville, Arkansas, pretty much.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's like I see a mix. I see some people doing well. I see some wealthy people spending. That's fine and dandy. But then I see a lot of people in my area. I mean, it's hitting the economy hard. Like, even though that statistic says $80,000 a year is the average income in Bentonville, Arkansas, it's like I still see people struggling. It's like our economy, we haven't bottomed out yet, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is a lot of people, that's why people sell altcoins, because it's not Bitcoin, and they're selling an altcoin most likely at a loss just to fund their lifestyle. And that's all people are doing in the markets. It's not necessarily your coin is bad. It's people need money and people are cashing out to fund for their lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Crypto Dream. How Cody feels about ETFs. I feel about XRP. Yeah, just done with the news. I'm done with XR with all the degenerate price predictions on XRP. Like, oh, it's going to be 789, 854, 841, over 1,000. XRP to 25,000. I'm like, where are you guys getting these numbers from? But it's just all clickbait. And you got to remember, a lot of YouTubers, this is their day job. Like
Yeah,
Cody and I
that
work and do other things. I run businesses. Cody works his jobs. We do this for this is our hobby that we like to do with you guys, and hopefully we get to the point to where we can be able to get an editor to do our videos a little more professionally.
Yeah,
And
I have a 9 to 5 right now, and I will say a 9 to 5 saves lives, And the reason why I say a 9 to 5 saves lives is because, for example, this kind of off topic here, but look at the music industry. It's like a lot of these rappers and people, like, they sell their soul to push an agenda, and they pretty much can't be themselves. You're a robot. It's like if you have a 9 to 5 and you're stacking up your chips, it doesn't matter what job you're working. Like if you have a 9 to 5, you're stacking up your chips, you're doing what you're supposed to, you're doing right in
Mhm.
society. Eventually it comes. The problem is you have like the music industry and things like that, the internet, social media, it pressures people and it makes them feel like that they're invalid, and they do anything they can just to rush to get it. Like if you have a 9 to 5 and you're investing, like you're doing better than a lot of people.
Yeah, and I say that all the time. And that's why the finance area on the internet is not doing so well right now, is because the free money's gone, the fast money's gone. Now you got the slow problems from the fast money. You got a lot. They got lives that they maintain. I know a guy that rents out luxury, high end luxury cars, like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, everything. And he's saying the same things. Like he's getting all his cars back from his from those guys that were all promoting it. Now I don't share anyone's business, but I know a lot of people from YouTube. He rented the cars to Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royce SUV, all that stuff, and it's all coming back to his lot. I'm actually thinking about because some of them are in pretty good condition, and he doesn't need all those cars anymore because he said market's going down. He's just doing it for the executives that are like in this area and in Dallas area, and they want their a Rolls Royce to take them from the airport to wherever they got to do with Walmart or Tyson or whatever, and then bring them back. So I'm actually might be picking up a car from him because he's got a really nice condition Evo with like 2,000 miles on it. That other than it has like
A
cosmetic
Mitsubishi?
scratches. What? I'm sorry, Cody.
A Mitsubishi Evo?
No, a Lamborghini Evo,
Oh.
the Huracan. But it's like you gotta remember these cars. If you get them off of these rental companies, they've been worn and torn, scratched up. I think he said like there's some scratches in the leather inside the car, so it needs about like 30 days worth of work and cleanup to get before I can buy it from him. Other than and like I think someone they must have hit like one of those little car stoppers. They must have smashed underneath because it's all scratched up underneath there. So, but if you are making a good amount of money and you are surviving, just remember there's going to be a lot of exotic cars hitting the secondhand market. So if you have made it to that level and you're watching, you can definitely. I mean, don't go to a dealership, go there and buy one. You're going to save half the price on there, and you're going to get something that's pretty much got under 5,000 miles anyway. Even like the BMWs, Mercedes, Audis, Infinities, like they're all coming back because eToro and all those people renting are now stopping it. But one guy I knew did do a good job with my he said to rent out pickup trucks and let people do household projects. He made a lot of money
That's
doing
a
that.
good idea. That's actually a good idea.
I mean, you just gotta remember if you're going to do that car business, make sure you price out the insurance and also make sure you understand the true maintenance costs and everything. Because when it's not yours, when the people that rent it, it's not their car, they tear it up. So just remember that.
Oh yeah, I've seen tons of reports from these exotic car dealers from like these rappers that nobody knows about. And what they'll do is, these artists that nobody really knows about, they'll get like a 50, 60, $70,000 check from their record label, and they'll go to like one of those places and they'll rent out, exotic cars, and they'll use them for their videos and Instagrams and stuff. Anyway, they beat the hell out of them. And the dealer, the renter or whatever, they're always pissed off. Like when they get those cars back.
Yeah, and they smoke a lot of weed and stuff in those cars. It's just terrible. But I mean, if you wanted to get a good value car, because I mean, there's those guys are selling McLaren like 20, 2019, 2020 McLarens that are pretty rough up, but you're talking about a $400,000 car that's being sold for $85,000 now. So that just goes to show you how beat in some of these cars are.
I find it interesting how now you can buy a Ferrari with Bitcoin pretty much.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that. Ferrari just started taking cryptocurrency as payment.
Yep,
I, I
and it's a smart move because they know, if a bull run's coming, a lot of people are gonna want to buy that if they have a heavy bag.
exactly. Okay, here it is. I want to show this article too because this is going to affect how our economy is going to go. But we also got to remember Ford is also going to be facing bankruptcy. I still think Ford is a good stock to watch because I think they'll weather it well, especially since they created a Mustang that everybody wants. Believe it or not, because it's not electric, it's got a bigger engine and everything, and people are gravitating towards it because I'm seeing those suckers on the road now.
I like the Mach-E electric one. I know some people don't like those, but I actually kind of think they're cool. The Mach-E GT.
Hmm. It's a good overall car. It still has a lot of popularity. Ooh, excuse me, but I just don't think people can afford the pricing.
Or the electric cars too, because electric cars are mainly city use now.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be in a city or in a certain area. Otherwise, those electric cars aren't going to. I mean, I couldn't see being out in like Mountain Home, Arkansas, trying to use an electric car because that's a pretty rural town. Like you really couldn't get around. You have to make sure you charge your car every night or at least every morning before you leave, which just adds more hassle to it. But I could see in the city be very efficient and easy. Shout out to Stop Loss. At least go Lightning and have the ability to power your home and a frunk. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, the Lightning truck is
Oh,
kind of going. It's kind of one of the most popular ones, but I'm still seeing those on the lot. I think I went to a Ford dealership a couple days ago, and I saw Lightning trucks going for like 120, 130,000.
hey, a frunk is actually a front trunk, and I'm pretty sure. Mistake me if I'm wrong, chat, but I'm pretty sure Ford created that term. The
Oh,
front.
okay, I get you. Lightning truck has a trunk where the engine should be lots of room for tools. Oh, okay, I know frunk. Okay, I just didn't refer to it as that. I just called it as a storage space. But that is a pretty clever term. I'll have to admit that. But let me pull up this one here because the strike. I don't know if I can fully pull up the article here. Um. Okay. Yeah. So because like the U.S. the UAW union is striking. We all know that, and it's causing from some unique things to happen. But GM is saying they're going to be fine, but Ford is actually saying that hey, if this goes on too long, we're going to have to declare bankruptcy, which is true because Ford's balances never really looked right, but and that's from my opinion, but in the long term, they were setting themselves up. They were following Tesla's strategy of removing the normal dealership avenue and doing direct to consumer sales. So that would cut a lot of the prices because a lot of the markups that are happening have nothing really to do with with the manufacturer. It's all the dealership. They're just adding on as much money as they can. And let me tell you, these dealerships have been making profit. They have been making tremendous profit. Like there's the lady that owned Cody might know who I'm talking about, but she's in one of my networking groups. She's going to be at that golf event with the Better Business Bureau
I
that I'm
know who you're
attending.
talking about.
She made a record of $75 million profit. Now, it's not her business. That the business made so much money that she cashed out $75 million over from 2020 to 2023. Or sorry, 2022. That's insane. That's insane. That goes to show you people were just buying stuff. Now, keep in mind, she has something like 30 dealerships, and she also has like a BMW and Mercedes dealership down in I think she has one in Tulsa, one in Little Rock, or something like that.
Wait,
They
is it the real estate lady?
no, she her name is on these dealerships.
Oh wow.
You know which one it begins. It begins with an E. It's Everett.
Yeah. Everett. Yep.
They own a ton, but they own a lot of Chevy and Ford dealerships in Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma area. And they were just cranking it like nonstop. Like there was no stop to amount of revenue that they were making. And like the Mercedes dealerships, I mean, you could go like a G Wagon normally was like $120,000 car. And then over the pandemic, all of a sudden it was a $300,000 car. It's not a $300,000 car. Even the AMG series was maybe like 150. And now I'm seeing those things starting to pop up everywhere, including Facebook Marketplace. So I already know that the bubble's getting ready to burst in the car industry, especially with the BMWs, like the 300 series, the Mercedes A series, CL series, or CLA series, the C100 class, the C300 class, is because those were the low end luxury models, and every person had to flex, and they bought those things. Now, and they bought those things at like $65,000. So now that they bought, they're trying to get rid of those. They're getting rid of them at like $20,000, $19,000. And you gotta remember, these are all right at where like the first major repair is with the timing belts and everything. So it's like 63,000, 70,000 miles. That's when they're getting rid of them.
You want to know what car I plan on buying next bull run?
Shout it out.
It is going to be, I plan on getting like a 2018 or a 2019 Honda Accord Sport. And I know that might sound lame to some people, but the Sport Accords are really nice, especially the ones before 2021 because they got the 2.0 in them. But I like them, and I've sat in one before, and they're solid cars, and it lasts me a long time. You know, the max I plan on spending on a car if we get a bull run is like $20,000, 25,000.
Yeah, just like if your net worth is a 500,000, it's not time to buy a BMW. If your net worth is $1,000,000, it's still not time to buy a BMW or
At
Mercedes.
500,000, they say at 500,000 the max you should spend on a car is 50, just like 100. If you only have 100,000 to your name, the max you should spend on a car is like 10,000.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't really spend overwhelming amounts. Like,
Over 10%. You should not spend over 10% of your worth on a car.
mhm. And what I also want to say is that what I also want to say is though you're going to see the mistake of a lot of people using their income to finance their lifestyle instead of using their income to finance their future endeavors. So, like I say, I could go gangbuster on cars right now. I could go gangbuster on the whole lifestyle, but I would be broke. I would burn out everything within a couple of years. There's no point. It's just like when a lot of people were saying, like, I'm buying to eat out. I do that. Now, granted, I was trained on how to be a cook for my aunt's restaurant. So I was actually a chef at my aunt's restaurant when I was between the ages of 16 to about 21 when I was going through college. And so I like cooking and doing all that stuff. So I understand if you don't want to cook. But you guys got to understand, like, I could not eat out at $30,000 a day. Like, if you're spending that money fast, the odds are, one, it's ill-gotten gains, because usually when you don't work for the money, you spend it faster. Because if someone works for the money and worked hard to earn their wealth, they are very, very uh, prudent with it. They're not going to waste it away. You know, they're not going to be going out to eat lavishly. Like, I may go out to like a $600 restaurant, but every now and then with my family. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be buying this $1,000 steak every night, having it DoorDash. Like, that's the way. All those little fees, all that little money, it adds up. It adds up. And don't listen to people that say, "Oh, well, we'll make more money." You gotta make more money. You gotta hustle. No, no. What's gonna happen is one day you're not gonna make the money, and then you're gonna lose everything. And then once you fall, if you fall too hard and you fall into that pit, it's damn near impossible to get out of that pit. So I advise everyone, do not fall for that pit. Do not fall for that pit. It's going, because if you fall into that pit, it's going to be a pain in the butt for you to recover. Shout out to DYOFR, definitely supporting this stream with the chat. Those Ford Mach-E's have a massive recall coming. Yep, don't buy any car made in Mexico. That's absolutely true. Tesla is creating their own computer chips. This will gap all other car companies that must buy their chips from. Uh, I'm guessing you're saying from Taiwan, TSM, or whomever. I'm bearish on the Tesla truck being built in Mexico, though. I think Tesla's going to hit a rocky start with that truck, but I think the Cybertruck will come back redesigned and more to be more likable to most people's trends. And if the Accord is built in Japan, you're golden. Absolutely. Well, I still think Japan engineering is just bar none, because like Hondas, Toyotas, Hyundais are pretty good, except for those Hyundai Eco engines. They don't last more than 5 years, so just be wary of those. But like
There's
a Corolla is just gonna the Toyota Corolla is gonna last you forever.
there's this saying called the Toyota tax or the Honda tax.
Yeah.
Now, you see these Hondas and Toyotas because everybody knows them for that now. You see these Hondas and Toyotas for ridiculous prices. Like on some of these Civics, like especially 5, 6 year old models, it's like they're crazily overpriced.
Oh yeah. Let's go back over here. Yeah, it's definitely a weird. Although I have to say, if anyone's looking for a car, if you can manage to hold out for like another 6 months, you're gonna have great prices on cars. Because a lot of dealerships have what are called lot financing, and every month they're having to recapitalize. That's why lots still don't have enough cars. They're having to recapitalize more and more and more and more money towards their lot loans. And if they don't get those cars sold, they're going to be in some big trouble. Shout out to Stop Loss. This is in reference to the Frank comment we had earlier. It's from cars with rear engines, such as supercars. So that's probably absolutely right. I just never heard the term before. um, so we're kind of at the end here. If you guys want to comment in, share, like and subscribe, and help share those up, or open the open comments. If you guys want to join on live on our YouTube channel, definitely can do it. Hop on live there. But I'll be putting the link in the chat right now. So if anyone wants to kind of join in live, or if you want to join in on TikTok, hit the guest request button, and I'll be happy to have you on. But it is going to be a crazy time in the next couple months. I think we're going to have a relief rally going into November. And then after the holidays, it's going to be bust, because any assets that people have in crypto or stocks, they're going to start liquidating, or even like Rolexes, things like that. They're going to start selling them off, because they're going to need to get that no one's going to want to have a bad Christmas, and they're going
I'm
to need.
ready for it because I want some cheaper ETH. Like I'm really ready for those people who need to fund their lifestyle to sell, so I can
Mhm.
buy some cheaper ETH. Because I'd love to see ETH go to like 800 to sub 1K. Like that would be amazing.
Oh, exactly, exactly. It is going to change. It's going to be a nice sheer drop. I'm expecting 25% loss on the market. So if we're sitting here at 1.14 trillion, I'm expecting it probably to be around zero point 0.8 to 0.75 trillion. Shout out to your Renaissance. What's your YouTube channel? It is Simply Investing 6638. It's also in the description above, in the bio for TikTok, or in the description if you're live on Facebook or anything else. Oh, excuse me. But you can go there, help us subscribe. We're trying to grow our channel there. We also every Monday, crypto pick of the week happens, and then every Friday we do stock picks. I put up a video on a particular stock. Shout out to Freedom Fighter. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back in. Glad to have you in here as a supporter. You see that hex pump? Look at crypto bubbles. We did see it earlier on today. If you can make money off those pumps, definitely make money. I'm not opposed. Make money where you can make money. Just make sure you try not to risk everything on a bet.
Yeah, you know me as the biggest hex hater ever, but if you can make money on it, do it. I just don't want it.
Excuse me. But while we're waiting for anyone else to come in with their questions or anything, I'm just going to go over everything else going on because it is what's in your portfolio, and I go over with everything my business is. As you guys know, if you heard from the last live, my moving company is kind of going to come in at about 30% less on revenues. It's looking less likely we're going to hit that 10 million mark. So we're probably going to end up like in the high 9 millions, which would be about 4.5 million down from last year. That's also because I did lose a lot of final mile delivery contracts with Yellow. Uh, once when they shut, I saw it coming because I was getting less and less. Matter of fact, I still have like 30 shipments that are sitting in my warehouse from Yellow that I can't deliver because they never gave me the information. So I have no idea who they go to. They're just kind of sitting in my warehouse. Um, But I kind of saw that coming. I knew someone else was going to pick up the things. The thing about the Yellow logistics, I think they declared bankruptcy to get rid of the unions because they had 5 companies under the Yellow umbrella. 4 of them were union, one wasn't. 4 of the union ones shut down. The one that isn't is up and running and picking up all the other contracts. Brilliant move, but at the end of the day, they also have like a 70% damage rate, so forget it's like they're going to eventually go out the way. Oh, shout out to DYOFR. Oh, by the way, Boston Consulting Group sees the crypto market going to 25 trillion. That was a happy surprise. Yeah, I'm with them on that. I think it will go pretty well. Although I don't see it happening this bull run, but I do see it coming up to about 10 trillion total market value in this next bull run, but we might get to 20 trillion because I think this is just going to be the crypto market's going to have a record influx of retail investors. This come because we have like the perfect storm brewing for people wanting to do outside investments. You have a stagnant economy. People are suffering jobs they don't want to be in, but because it finances their lifestyle. So they're looking for something to break away. And that's going to be crypto. And if anything you have money in crypto is just naturally going to go up. So just be aware. Just make sure you're in something that has great liquidity so you can get out as everyone gets in, and then you can get back in as everybody gets out. So and you can make some money. Cause let me tell you something. When that run starts to happen, all the big money they're going to start exiting out. And that's when I plan to exit out, and I might be a full exodus out of crypto for me. I might just cash out everything I have, wait till the market drops again, and then throw it all back in. Alrighty. I see some people still. We got some people coming in. If you guys can give us some likes and shares. I know we came in at an odd time. We're supposed to be on at 9 o'clock, but man, I was tired yesterday. I went out to do like an extra move, and that turned into like four other clients at this apartment complex because there's a lot of movers that just that are dropping jobs too, but they're all small jobs. Like I was doing apartment moves for 500 flat for these people, and we were moving within the same complex. And man, man, now I know Cody had to leave, but those apartments, those new age apartments, have too many stairs. I went from third floor to fifth floor, second floor to fourth floor, first floor to second floor, and then finally went from another third floor to fifth floor. Oh my goodness! Shout out to Crypto Dream. I thought Ronald, I don't know who you're referring to. Ronald Powell said there won't be a recession. Well, we are in a recession. We have been. Actually, I analyzed all my business numbers. And I can tell you right now that I was looking at my income statements for my businesses, and from July of 2022, we were just on a steady decline. Like no matter what we did, we were just steadily going down. So I saw it coming, and it was inevitable that we would hit this point where we are. But now I know my competitors are finally suffering because that I see them less and less out on the road. They're burning cash, they're burning money, they're just doing a lot of crazy stuff. And so eventually I see them kind of getting out of the business. But it's going to the recession is here, because like jobs are being lost. There's now called quiet firing, where they're not firing you, they're just reducing your pay and changing your position. And they're just letting people walk away. And what's happening is even I had people that is like, I was paying like for a helper like $41,000 for a helper. I mean, a helper position, you're a mover, you're making $41,000, and that's not counting tips and bonuses. And they thought like, hey, I want more money. They tried to pull that card. I said, you can take a walk. And what happened is now they're at places like Taco Bell, which I don't know if in your area, but in my area, it all went to like all the $15 $15 hour jobs went to shit. Fast food is hiring at like 12.50, and even the chicken plants in the area aren't hiring. Retailer I know of been changing pay in some strange ways. Yep, that's going to be how it is. They are going to start trying to change how they pay people, and then they're hoping people can walk in. There's no link in the YouTube bio. In the bio, like if you hit the bio and there's like a little like camera, you click that, it drops down to my Instagram and the YouTube bio. But I don't know if can I type in here? I never actually typed in the chat for you guys. But maybe if one of the moderators can type in or share the link for my YouTube for your Renaissance, so they can kind of hop on in there. And also you can watch all the lives, all the replays on YouTube as well. I just can't see where I can type in. No, I can't see the chat. Yeah, I can't seem to type it in. Maybe I can reply here. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's simply. There you go. There you go, buddy. It should be, and you should see the same symbol. Same symbol. So that way and you can watch all the replays of all our lives, all the videos and everything. If you want the early release of the videos or the season specials that we'll be doing on there, um, it goes to you can join the Patreon for that. And with the Patreon, you get access to the Discord as well. I know Cody's been in the Discord. I haven't really been in the Discord as much because I just been too busy. But we'll hopefully be back in there for that. As far as moving on from my businesses, as far as like the real estate portfolio goes, like I'm still having a hard time buying bigger projects because I just don't have 30 or 40 million dollars in cash, and these guys are just buying up everything. I have to borrow money for these projects. But at the same time, like there's some smaller projects I'm still able to buy, and I'm I would say like I'm going to be at about 98.5% occupancy rate, but that'll probably drop down to 95% as I plan on trying to acquire 20 more doors by the end of the year. And they won't be ready till next year for people to rent in because I don't believe in cheap shit in my rentals. I really don't. So I'll pay to put in nice granite counters, better appliances. I like GE appliances. They last a little longer than that. What are those? Those Frigidaire ones? Those are terrible. You get about 2 years use out of those things. And see here. Other than that, construction companies doing well. Kind of doing a lot of business contracts right now and state contracts with it for the concrete. And it's just a concrete company, so we just lay concrete. Very simple. We also got quite a few big deals in the works, and their logistics companies doing fairly well. Given that once Yellow went, we're starting to acquire a lot of the other final mile contracts. So overall, it's pretty stable right now. I'd say my cash flow overall is coming up to about 500,000 a month with all the companies where I can get in. So I'm trying to 500,000, about 500,000 per year, about 538,000 per year. What was 500,000 per month? Oh my God, I'd be making some crazy money. Shout out to DYOFR. Yeah, I saw the real estate lady from Shark Tank say to buy a nice refrigerator when you're trying to sell your home. Exactly. Because if you got an old piece of equipment, but nobody wants to rent those. I know a lot of you guys have rented from places and like the equipment's old, it's janky, it doesn't look modern. Like, so I modernize all my homes when I buy them. So that way they're presentable, people like them, people want to rent from you. They're, things like that. You don't see a lot of create like a lot of weird people coming in usually, and it helps bring about the high quality tenant that you want because they want to have a nice rental and they'll take care of it for you. And usually that has been a problem. Most of my tenants have been very, very well. I haven't had any of the horror stories yet. Knock on wood, I haven't had those yet. But we'll have to see. But I think if you guys are looking to get into real estate, in a couple years, you'll probably be able to get a good price on a rental property. As there's a lot of people who are in their like late 70s, early 80s who are coming to the end of their life, so they're going to start liquidating their assets. And if they have like duplexes, triplexes, things like that, they're going to start releasing them. And that'd be a good time to kind of get in there. Let me see here. Excuse me. So with that said, I think we're all caught up. We haven't had too many questions on this one. Really, and like I said, guys, it's going to be boring for the next probably couple months. We might have a crash. We might have some more news about the FTX case. There's going to be more fraud and financial schemes that are going to come to light. It's just that's going to be the nature of what's going to happen. But if you guys could like and subscribe, follow us on all the channels, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. Links are in the description. on YouTube for everything. And, if you want to help support the channel and help us get an editor so we can really do some better editing work on these videos, be really appreciative. You can support us on Patreon. You also, if you guys have any questions, I can kind of help at some point. Just DM me on either TikTok or the Facebook. I kind of pay attention to those. But with that said, guys, thank you guys. Been kind of a quiet stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for your support and hope you have a great day. Remember, don't invest in anything you don't understand and always do your own research. And with that said, guys, I will sign off and I will see you guys tomorrow morning for morning market news, because we will have that at 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. I will see you guys next time, and thank you for all your support.